Hi, I'm Ashley from RWC Northern Corridor Group. Today we're doing a deep dive on Caboolture's Corporate Park East and what it means for you as a commercial property owner in the Northern Corridor. When we do these deep dives, we look at three things. We look at where is it, what is it, and what does it mean for you? So where is it? Corporate Park is a new industrial estate in Caboolture, just off Bribie Island Road. What is it? It's a 100-lot industrial subdivision that's essentially an extension of the traditional corporate park, which has been the primary industrial park in Caboolture for the last 20 years. The first stage was delivered in 2020 when COVID hit. At that time, all but two of the pre-sales fell over. So we were sitting here pretty much with a blank canvas. So for me, it really represents a perfect avatar of what the industrial market has done in the last 5 years. So we've had 100 lots on the market, almost zero sold when COVID hit in, and now we're completely sold out 5 years later, and we get to benchmark what's happened year on year through that process. Since then, every release has sold out off the plan, and the final release actually sold out in 3 days. So the buyer mix across the board for the land has been about 70-30 from developers to owner-occupiers. In the first stage, we made sure that was actually 80-20 the other way. So we had 80% owner-occupiers and 20% developers, because we didn't want the developer ghost town, which can happen in some areas where you get a lot of finished product and no businesses actually in there occupying. We found that worked really well. Some really good local businesses took up the opportunity early, set up their new established premises, and then we found the complementary businesses started to come into the developer product after that. So the finished product is a mix of strata units from probably the smaller sizes around 150 square meters through to standalone tilt panels at around the 2,000 square meter mark. Traditionally, Caboolture doesn't have sheds much larger than the 4,000 square meter standalones. The areas that do have the bigger 5s and 10s tend to be logistics areas, and the actual location of Caboolture makes it really difficult with driver fatigue laws to have a distribution centre here that can then get to Sydney or get through Rockhampton in one day. So what does it mean for commercial property owners in the Northern Corridor? Owners of industrial property of any kind should understand that this is what is driving the value of their property. So the activity that's happening on estates like this. Prices for land started at $215 a square metre in 2020 and have increased year on year to the point where our last sale this quarter was at $800 a square metre. Over the same period, net rents for new buildings have gone from $140 a square metre in 2020 up to over $200 a square metre today. So this is the important part. There is almost no difference between the rates being achieved for new versus existing buildings in the older corporate park estate. This is because the supply constraint is still so ridiculously tight. In spite of this 100 lots coming on, there are currently 0 vacant sheds over 1,000 square metres available for lease or sale in Caboolture. There are 0 vacant blocks of industrial dirt under 1 hectare available to buy in all of Moreton Bay. So where is the opportunity? If you own a tenanted property and you haven't had a market review in the last 2 years, you're almost guaranteed to be under-rented. To put that into context, if you are under-rented, every $10,000 that you're missing out on in market rent costs you about $170,000 in your sale price or just your valuation if you go to refinance. It is important that if you do have a market review coming up, or if you are looking at selling in the next 3 years, then you should talk to us before you get to that review point. If you're an owner-occupier, you've probably paid even less attention to the equity you have sitting in your building, which is understandable because you're probably too busy running your business. But what we're finding is we've been helping more and more businesses actually free up huge amounts of capital by either structuring leaseback deals where they get to keep the business in place but on-sell the property to an investor, or simply just to refinance and take the equity out of your property and invest it back into your business. So quite often businesses find that their return on the money is actually better off in your stock or in your business or in your equipment than it is just sitting in the bricks and mortar. It's not for everyone, but it's an interesting exercise to run, and we'd be happy to help you with it. So there's probably 3 times when you should really reach out to get our advice. And that is 1, when you've got a market review coming up with a tenant that you've got in place. 2, if you're looking to refinance as an investor or an owner-occupier. And 3, if you're looking to capitalize on the equity you've got and actually invest in another property in the area. Our job at RWC is to help you make better commercial property decisions. So that's our wrap on Corporate Park East and what it means for you as a commercial property owner in the Northern Corridor.